well, here we are, currently on a choo-choo. I'm bound for Grantham, going that way. I'm one of only 2 people on this train, and the length of the train station from the train doors down past platform 4, 4A, all the way to 4B. I got there with 3 minutes to spare. Then I was pulled away, and away we go. 15 or so minutes for this train to come. So Grantham, of course, famous for really only one thing, being the birthplace of Margaret Thatcher. So when taking the L&ER service up to Edinburgh, I saw they had an exclusive beer available that you can only get on the train. It's called Hop On Board. And you know what? It turned out to be better than I expected. Hoppy, funky. It was good. Recommended. Royal Mile Castle. Halfway house. I'd say a quarter of the way house. Royal Mile Market. As I took to exploring the streets of Edinburgh, one thing I did notice was the large abundance of public tours that were happening. Small groups of people, I think they were Airbnb experience representatives, they were very blazing in their colours, and they were walking the streets, particularly around here, around the Scottish Cathedral, lots of different groups together, about 15 people each time walking around. And here I took to my love of admiring lampposts in different cities, lamppost porn. You see all the things that already currently grab me. I know there's a castle on the way that I'm going to have to visit at some point, but that spire over there, that draws me. I'm going that way. So far I've discovered that Edinburgh is a city that is about regeneration, being rebuilt. It is a place that's trying to keep its traditional identity and trying to rebuild for the 21st century. Everywhere you look, scaffolding. Everywhere you look, there's scaffolding. Which get here at the museum. So let's go and have a look, shall we?
Today, coins are back raised on whether the coins usually happen.
What is money? Indeed. Money is essential to modern life. Manufactured, counted, weighted, earned, lent, spent, saved, invested, exchanged, faked, secured, and destroyed. It is central to the bank's business. Enormous sums are processed every day. The city is all about money. Every kind of facet. The city is all about money. Origins of the rock. For those who don't know, indeed, the castle up on the rock there here in the centre of Edinburgh was once an active volcano. So I took then to take some pictures around the city, and the memories coming back through Forza 4 and Project Gotham 2. It wasn't long before I made it back to the Mile, and before I re-engaged my journey across the top of Scotland. In quite a stark contrast, Glasgow was an absolute hustle and bustle, so much buzz of the people happening there. There was an interesting place that I knew I had to go and check out. It was a local fish and chip, Blue Lagoon, that has, of course, Mr. Alien here serving up the old fish and chips. The house today at 5:25. It is now 20 to 4. Right, we're in the air. I've actually decided that, yeah, it's basically Scotland's Bulwell.
So I was always told that Scottish weather is terrible. I was always told that the weather is a mixed bag. It goes from mist to rain to sleet to snow to sun. And since coming here, I've only experienced the sun, and it's been beautiful. It's been wonderful. As I'm doing here today, so out lounging in the garden on these, I don't know what they're called, chairs. Enjoying the sun. I've got a tan coming already. It's wonderful. So making my way down this long extended road here to the Firth of Clyde, which heads out towards the Atlantic Ocean. 35 minutes before the sun fully descends below the horizon. Plenty of kelp down here. And we'll leave this camera set up to enjoy and capture the sight of the setting sun. So here we are. It's the twilight, it's the setting sun on what is June the 1st. And we're here in Ayrshire. I'm on the beach and I'm watching the setting sun over the Isle of Arran. And it's peaceful. It's nice. There's a lot of people along the beach having fun, having fires, running the dogs, having a good time. And with a sight like this, it's easy to see why. Now the reason I came here is because yesterday I noticed that the sun pretty much sets behind Arran as it comes down, and I thought to myself, I want to make sure I'm out there. I want to make sure I'm in the right place to make sure I record them before I head back to civilization, so to say. So here we are. Lovely champagne colour to the sky as the sun descends. Quite mesmerising. Certainly enjoying the view. So what did you say there? That's his face, is it?
Yeah, that's what Burns looks like. So obviously that's his home, the cottage. So it was part of history that he obviously wasn't a post office or like that back in the day, but it was a form of post office. So apparently he used to go in there, and obviously they marked it in his name, you know. And then the coffee shop next door, apparently he used to go in there and get inspired for his poetry and stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's why they named it Poets Corner.
Makes sense. Coffee house.
There's a little bit of feel of Burns over there, so I think I want to get in.
So, could you tell me about who Burns is? Obviously, you've got a lot of a connection around here. So this is his cottage. So this is where he was born. Was it? He spent a lot of his younger age. Is that right?
Yes, this is where he was born. This is where he lived with his family, where he was inspired to write his poetry, and all the original features are still in the cottage, including the original thatch.
Oh, so this is the stuff they spent a lot of thousands of pounds on to repair.
To the exact same. So it's got to be kept in the theme of what it was.
So Burns Cottage, Robert Burns, the Ayrshire poet, was born in this cottage
Didn't live long.
on the 21st of January AD 1759 and died 37 and a half years. So did he only live here? Did he travel around?
No, he was primarily in Ayrshire, in the cottage, and he used to just walk around for inspiration. A lot of his poems are based on certain areas. So we go to the Brig Of Doon, which is the river, and there was a famous poem that he did which was based on the Brig Of Doon. And he was a big romantic, so his poets were written about women or romance, and his poems were inspired about some of his ex-girlfriends apparently as well.
So who is this character? Because I keep hearing his name, Tam O'Shanter.
Yeah, and there's a pub in town called the Tam O'Shanter pub.
So Robert Burns' Birthplace Museum, this is where local poet was born, and this is his cottage and education pavilion, closed today unfortunately, so I've missed out on that opportunity. Hopefully we'll find out a bit more as we explore this area. So I'm going to go and take this poet's path here. It says the Museum and Gardens, Alloway, Auld Kirk, Burns Monument, and the Brig Of Doon, which is where I'm going. I'm going that way. Brig Of Doon. It sounds like the most Scottish thing I could say. Brig Of Doon.
We've always been the Brig Of Doon.
So I'm assuming brig is like bridge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Doon is like a river.
Yes, so it's the Doon River. Yeah. Oh,
So we're not 30 into the nature trail, and we found funky bronze fox. Funky bronze fox covered in bird poo. There's also a heavy-duty metal chain. He's like a slave fox.
dogs were.
I'm assuming these were Sally Meadows. Now, do you think Sally Meadows is the owner of the dog, or is she the artist? Do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a bit ambiguous, isn't it?
So it's two dogs here.
She might have just got it as an artist thing, just putting two dogs in random. Might not have any connection to Burns.
No, I'm not going to pat this one on the head because someone else has left some pats on the head instead. So we'll leave that
And
one
he's
alone.
got a chain around him, which is not looking very good. Little padlock.
Yeah, a little padlock around his neck here. Look, just he's secured up, but his name's Caesar. And this one is called Lou. Almost looks like 4OU. So I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that, but either way, we'll pet you for luck, and we're going to carry on. So there's this other really interesting, odd-looking, modern piece of art that has no connotations, no story, no message, no information.
It's abstract. Yeah.
It looks like a stone with a bone through it, if anything. How would you describe what that is? Is that what a haggis looks like?
Actually,
So my,
yeah, Antelope postcard, £1,000 for the common, the wins.
there's a big, huge, giant mouse. This mouse is bigger than me. That is just one huge, giant mouse. So the Auld Kirk Alloway. So, Alloway Auld Kirk.
The original.
Okay, that's a bit of a... From Tam O'Shanter by Robert Burns. When glimmering, thou the growning trees, Kirk Alloway seemed in a breeze. Thou Inca love, I think that's it. The beams were glancing, and loud resounded mirth and dancing. Ah, so there was many spine-chilling local legends, such tales inspired his famous poem Tam O'Shanter. And William Burns.
His father, buried in the grave opposite the entrance. This is it. Yes, this is dad.
I think I do enjoy the lovely graveyard. This is the grave of Robert Burns' father, William. Robert wrote the lines on the back of the stone. Robert's sister Isabella is also buried here, as her daughters Agnes and Isabella.
It tells you about a poem.
Ooh, something, a lover of supernatural stories.
This is you.
So he certainly tickles my fancy here. The Muckle Cauldron. A lover of supernatural stories, Burns captured these themes best in his epic poem Tam O'Shanter. Clearly I need to read Tam O'Shanter. That's a funny rabbit. Hopping along. I just hopped along there. Oh. Well, Tam O'Shanter may have gazed through this window when he saw warlocks and witches in a dance. The iron gave protection against the mort safes and were installed to prevent body snatchers from robbing the grave. So Tam O'Shanter may have looked through this window, and now you, in the world of the internet, can look through the said window as well.
And we've got dates 1516.
And quite remarkably, the stone has been opened.
What do you mean?
That's a door with a stone door.
Okay.
Oh, we can actually get in there. Yeah. So one of those grave robbers have probably come in here, had a look inside. Lieutenant.
In General John Hughes
Okay.
of Balkissook, who died at Mount Charles, April. Oh, it's all written in Roman numerals. age Roman numerals, yeah. My
MDCCC.
Roman numerals need a bit of a polish. I'm not sure
They
about
do,
this.
so it's millennium. What's that?
It's making it look pretty old, whatever it is.
Yes. I feel terrible now because I should know that.
You really should if you do this all the time. You should know what the Roman numerals are.
We're talking of Roman numerals. This looks like a Roman
It's like a Greek, yeah.
Greek kind of design here with these pillars.
So obviously, because it's a general, they've spent a lot of money on him and done quite a posh, memorial for him.
Robert requested of Captain Grouse that he would make a drawing of Alloway Kirk. The captain agreed, provided the poet would furnish a witch story to be printed along with it. So there was a created witch story.
There's a bit of Burns here. So this is his dad, yeah. So he's written a poem to his dad.
So would you use your lovely Scottish voice to pronounce that in a Scottish way?
If I can say it right. O ye, whose cheek the tear of pity stains, draw near with pious reverence and attend. Here lie the loving husband's dear remains, the tender father and the generous friend, the pitying heart that felt for human woe, the dauntless heart that fear no human pride, the friend of man, to vice alone no, but even as failings lean to virtue's side.
It's quite wonderful, actually.
I'm not really sure what that meant, but it felt good reading it.
Oh, the last line, of course, for even in his failings, he leaned to virtue.
Yeah, I was going to say they still showed him respect, yeah. I think a lot of his poems were quite like that, the feeling and the tone of them. Like he was a bit humanitarian, I do think Robert Burns was, like always a man of the people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's why he was a big romantic, so a lot of his poems were about his girlfriends or ex-girlfriends as well.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah, a few dedicated to some redhead women as well.
Smell them tatties.
So
Oh,
we've
yeah.
been locked out of the Burns Gardens. We could just jump over the fence.
Look at the size of that tower. So here now, this is my destination here for this trip. I'm here at the Brig of Doon, and so I pan this camera around. I've got this big ass sign behind me, Brig of Doon, and that's what this lovely place is over here. So we're going to go check it out and see what the view's like from the top of the bridge. So there's actually two bridges, isn't there? There's that one, and there's another one behind it. So I'm assuming this is the oldest,
I
original
think it
bridge.
just runs on the Doon River, so it's a bit of a feed of Doon connected to everything around here. Everything's called Doon. We won't be too pedantic about the ifs and the buts and the fine details.
So we get to go over what is quite a wide bridge, and then we go up a tiny little path. So this would perhaps have been the only crossing for the river for
So the Brig of Doon proved
quite
to be the
some time.
heroes section of Tam O'Shanter, the story by Robert Burns. We headed then on to Greenham Castle and along the coast there. And on our way back, of the 12-mile walk that we took all around, we came across a van at the side of the road. It's not just ice cream vans in here, we have pizza vans at the side of the road. And it managed to fill a nice empty stomach that I had at the time, and Pure Indulgence was their name.
the cradle of Scottish independence, the birthplace of William Wallace, Robert the Bruce and Robert Burns. So they're all born in and around here. Live update, we've got the Queen here enjoying the view of Ayrshire over the Clyde of Firth. Is that right?
Firth of Clyde.
Oh, still got the wrong way around. That's cool.
The Queen is here live.
Well, thank you for joining me on this journey up to Ayrshire in Scotland. It has been a wonderful journey. I got to share some excellent company and saw some wonderful sights. So join me next time when we go on our next adventure.